Hey, Whitney, thanks so much for joining me today and sharing your story.
I'm happy to share.
So before you came to see us, what sort of symptoms were you having, and what was your energy like?
So the main symptom that really held me up was chronic fatigue, which interestingly enough, I never realized. I didn't tag myself as having chronic fatigue because it's all I've known for my whole life, ever since at least being 5 years old. I remember not getting into private school because I failed the test, and I failed the test because I slept through the test. I didn't take it.
Oh,
So I remember ever, going a long way back, that just was my life. And it wasn't until I got married and my husband said, "This is not normal. Something is wrong with you." It was honestly very offensive because I'm like, "This is who I am. What are you talking about?" And thank the Lord he said that, and that we saw so many doctors and then finally found you and figured out the root of these issues, which I'm so thankful for. But my main issue was just chronic fatigue. I'm not aware enough of my body to have tagged my other issues.
and so, and you had mentioned to me like how it was affecting you. So you were cheering in college and high school, and you were saying that your body wouldn't necessarily listen to you. Sometimes you were really tired and you couldn't do the flips that you needed to. And how else was it affecting your life? You said you were falling asleep in class.
Yeah, I could never stay awake in class. I loved school. I loved learning, but I could never retain anything that I heard from the teacher because I was either sleeping at my desk or just nodding off, trying to look alive. So it was really hard on me because grades were important. Performing well in school was important. And so I would just stay up so late or wake up very early, reteaching myself everything. So it was hard because my parents couldn't even identify I had a problem, because on paper, I was getting great grades. I was able to cheer. And so no one really was able to help me see that something was wrong. So I just thought it was normal for me, at least. I recognized no one else was sleeping in class, but I just thought, well, this is just me.
And when you started with us, your energy was what out of 10?
It would ebb and flow throughout the day, but it would typically, the highest it would get would be a 6 and a 7 during the day. And then it would just go down to, 4 would be most of the day. But there would always be periods of crashes where I was a 1 or a 0, and I would, physically have to lay down. And so you asked how it held me up. And I remember, in college, I was able to take naps every day. And my first job out of college, I realized very quickly I could not stay awake for the whole day. And so I would have pillows and blankets in my car. And so when everyone would go to lunch, I would go sleep in my car because I physically could not get through the day. Or in a lot of my job, I had to be on the road. And so I would be driving to travel to my clients where I'd be in the car for hours. So I had these places along the way where I'd have Starbucks parking lots that I knew this is a safe area. I can sleep here. So I would have to pull off because I physically couldn't drive. I'd be nodding off on the road.
Unfortunately, that's all too common. People needing to sleep in their car halfway through the day, or even under the desk. Sometimes people would go under their desk and people would just assume that they weren't in their office or whatever, and they would sleep in there. So,
well, it's interesting to say that, actually, because, and that's one of the reasons I think this went on, my mom probably has a lot of the same issues I do. And so she would tell me and laugh about how she would do the blinds in her office and she would sleep under her desk, and her coworkers knew if the door's closed, the blinds are closed, don't bother her. And so I would grow up hearing these things. And again, it just reinforced this is normal. It's okay to take a nap. It's okay to be exhausted. My mom did it. And I think because it was also normal to her, she couldn't recognize that it isn't normal. And so when she would see those things in me, it also appeared normal. And so it just kind of prolonged what I'd been going through.
Absolutely. So then what's your energy out of 10 these days?
9 to 10. It's exciting. I feel great.
So is that sustained energy throughout the day? Are you having any crashes?
I don't crash anymore. I mean, I will, we're still working through some issues with my gut. So if I eat a heavy meal, and a lot of times my digestion will slow me down. But it used to be where in order to bump back up, I had to take a nap. And now I don't need that anymore. I don't even remember the last time I took a nap. So if I slow down from digestion, I just kind of slow down and then understand why I'm feeling a bit tired. And then it just gets right back up there. So I bounce back quickly now, which is exciting.
Awesome. And so what can you do now that you couldn't do before?
Well, it looks different now as an adult versus the things that's, really stuck out to me growing up and through high school and college and whatnot. But I would say one of the best thing I can do more during the day because I'm not having to stop for a nap or plan for a nap. And I think I mentioned, our social life. I used to panic during the day if we had any dinner plans or any kind of plan with friends. I would panic and think, where and when am I going to get a nap in so I will be able to go do this thing? And thankfully now I can just go through, which is really exciting as well. So I would just say that just life is fuller. It's given me time back, which, time isn't a renewable resource. So it's pretty incredible to have that gift of time.
Yeah, that's great awareness. So then what would you say to somebody who's interested in this program but has hesitation? So, obviously it takes a commitment. It takes time, energy, and money, quite a bit of an investment of all of those things in order to get well. So what would you say to somebody who is hesitant because of those things?
You have to be all in. It is something you have to be focused on. I mean, we've had to change. My husband's been doing this with me because he's had his own issues, and we've 100% changed our diet, our sleep routine, just our entire day. Our schedule is completely different. And you have to be so incredibly disciplined with these supplements and just everything that's part of your protocols. So, I would say it's worth every ounce of time, in every sacrifice that you make to do it. So, but if you're not at your wit's end where you're to the point where something has to change and I'm willing to do anything, then you probably won't do it. But if that's you, and if you are exhausted and you just don't have the luxury in your life to be exhausted all the time and you're willing to do anything, then this is for you.
Yeah, I agree. And you said that it's worth the time commitment. What about the financial commitment? Has it been worth that?
The financial commitment's hard to swallow, but I bounced back so quickly that yes, it was a lot easier. And then, my husband's taken longer because his issues are more complex. But thankfully, since it's not just the one time a month that we have access via Voxer or these essentially email communications, then that makes it unlike any other experience with a doctor in terms of our accessibility to you. So yes, that is very, very helpful. And you can, when you feel so bad, you kind of, and you have hope, you kind of can't put a dollar amount on it. If that is going to get you across the finish line and you have the funds to do it, then this is the place to be.
Awesome. Thank you, Whitney. So is it all right if we use this in our marketing materials?
Yes, you may.
Awesome. I so appreciate you taking the time today and sharing your story with us.
You're welcome. Thank you. I so appreciate you and how you've helped change my life. So I really appreciate you, truly.